How's it going, guys? Mask here, and I am super excited to share with you guys today my new farming deck for farming Kaiba at level 40 without Union Attack, and we've been hitting it home with over 8,000 points, and this deck is super consistent. I had a good group of about 8 players together in Discord today, and between the 8 of us, I'm pretty sure we ran this 30 times, and the one fail out of 30 runs was just due to absolute clear user error. So without further ado, let's jump in and check out the actual deck list, and I'm going to talk to you guys about it. This is going to be very similar to a lot of decks that we saw in the Bakura event, a Destiny draw deck on Yugi, sort of revolving around healing and surviving. But the key to this deck is golden apples. Now the golden apples, while interacting with Kaiba, they interact with Kaiba in an interesting way. Essentially, the second you're able to get a golden apple off on Blue Eyes White Dragon, getting out that 3,000 attack, 3,000 defense token, that thing is there for good. Nothing Kaiba has is going to take that token out. At that point, your only real threat is going to be enemy controller. And yeah, we have so much healing in this deck. We can survive whatever he throws at us, getting Destiny draw after Destiny draw after Destiny draw, and we just have a very, very plain and simple end game to smash over 10k home with Piranha. Pretty straightforward. The playthrough's gonna work. Some of the important things you got to look out for: make sure Rising Energy is not going to be the last card that you draw. You have you use Mirror Wall in combination with Autonomous Action Unit to help drain our life down. Autonomous Action Unit is there for basically countering a very few specific opportunities where Kaiba will tribute his own Blue Eyes to pull off a enemy controller move. I don't know why he does it, but it happens. But yeah, let's jump straight into the actual gameplay, and we'll go through the deck. I'll give you a walkthrough on how the deck actually works. We'll just jump straight into it. Let's go. We got Kaiba level 40. Our goal is to hit 8,000 points. We have no Union Attack in this deck. And yeah, we got 240 keys left. We've been burning through them tonight, testing things out. And here we go. Whoa. Enemy controller. I can taste it. I can smell it. By the way, if we pull an enemy controller, it will be my first enemy controller. And I might scream like a little girl. What do you got for us, Kaiba? Alright, not a bad opening hand. We got Vorse Raider down on the board. Go ahead and drop a Javelin. I think we might as well drop a Javelin, a Nurse, and apples here. I actually was really hoping he would drop a second monster, but I don't know if we can really afford to stall this out. We don't need to stall this out to get a Destiny draw. To be honest with you, we should be totally fine. We'll go ahead and activate everything. Just get all the heals coming in. Now, the one thing about the apples, I like to describe the apples in 3 different tiers. We have the tribute. We have tier 1, aka the anti-tribute tier. This is going to hold up against absolutely anybody without tributing. So at this point, one of the things we really want to try to get our hands on is Nutrient Z. Nutrient Z is going to be a crucial pull if we can get another Destiny draw off, because it's going to allow us to, when they finally get the opportunity to tribute and get around this token, Nutrient Z obviously is just going to come through with a massive heal on whatever that monster might be that they're tributing to get through. I'm very tempted right now to Supremacy Berry, but we're going to hold on to it. It might come in useful. You can always use it to drop your health down and proc a Destiny draw, but we had the heart of the cards version of Destiny draw on our side. We did just pull a Nutrient Z. At this point, we're just sitting back and relaxing. This token is going to block the board for as long as it can, until Kaiba either pulls a tribute off or an enemy controller. Either way, we're not worried. Keep ending the turn. We don't really need that second Nutrient Z, I would imagine. Things are looking pretty good. We're probably going to have to start discarding cards. I will discard the Numinous Healer first. It's got the least healing value out of everything in this deck. Second up, probably Nutrient Z, considering we already have one on the board. Kaiba, buddy. Get with the program, man. We need you to get a big gun out. At this point, we're definitely not going to need the third apple. Supremacy Berry is going to have to go. See ya. There we go. 2400. That's what I'm talking about. Sure, we'll go some heals through here. We actually discarded one of our apples, which is quite the unfortunate venture. We can actually... Oh, so he did not get the... Obviously, he didn't hit us with the stronger monsters, so we don't want to waste... Do not want to waste... We're gonna pick up a Javelin here real quick, throw that down on the board. He didn't hit us with one of his stronger monsters, so we didn't want to waste the apples on any of the weaker ones. We need to get the strongest level of token that we can. Cost down, perfect. So he's going to come through with the Blue Eyes White Dragon, and this is one of the crucial points of this farm. It actually came at one of the latest points physically possible, which is hilarious. But he's going to drop Blue Eyes. I actually do not want to activate either of these cards, because we're going for... One of the goals of this deck is to go for low life. This was kind of an awkward setup where we weren't able to get anything out fast enough. With Rising Energy, at this point in the farm, we actually have to go ahead and Storm. On our second last turn, it's important. You have to pull Storm off on the second last turn so you can clear the back line. That being enemy controller, that's what we're trying to get out of the way. So there goes his back line, and in the graveyard now, he has actually only one enemy controller, which... believe it or not, can potentially be a problem. This is one of the very unlucky times where he's going to basically either have an enemy controller still in his hand, or he's drawing one in his second last card of the deck. That card right there face down could be an enemy controller. These are the very minuscule what-ifs. What could possibly happen if things draw the absolute worst way they can. But anyhow, to finish this farm off, we just drop Piranha down on the field. We're going to Secret Pass through the treasures onto the Piranha. And after that activates, goes through successfully, we'll go ahead and Rising Energy. Now, we did not get to... We're supposed to play Mirror Wall way earlier in this match and actually pay the taxes on it. It is there to help us... Oops, gain attack, my bad. Piranha's gaining attack. It is there to help us get to low life and comeback victory. So this is not going to be the highest scoring attempt on Kaiba, but as you guys can clearly see, this has been a walk in the park. We are definitely having a good time. Autonomous Action Unit is actually here for the rare occasion that he is going to sacrifice his Blue Eyes into the graveyard, and we need a second strong monster to Riryoku, but clearly that's not the case in this situation. I also have Autonomous Action Unit in this deck to help us out with a different version of this deck that you can run that's going to be easier and slightly higher scoring. Perfect, actually. It turned out that was not an enemy controller, which was absolutely beautiful. So we are going to successfully complete the farm. We did not get comeback victory or low life in this. It was unfortunate. As you could see, it took him quite literally 3/4 of the game to get one tribute summon out. That is not going to happen usually. So our field was clogged, and we didn't get Mirror Wall out quite early enough, preventing us, like I said, from getting low life and comeback victory. That's worth an extra 1,000 score, and so we would have got an extra 500 for the comeback victory, an extra 500 on top of that for low life, and spell, trap, special summon. This version of the deck specifically is missing out on one extremely key aspect that is going to be all effect damage. So this deck right here, there's a reason I have it laid out exactly how it is. There are 3 key cards in this deck that you're going to replace when you have Union Attack. If you even have one Union Attack, you can pull it off. We would take out Piranha. We would take out both Riryokus and replace them with Gravekeeper's Vassal and 2 Union Attacks. And then we'll take out Rising Energy because we will no longer need that, and simply put in an extra Supremacy Berry. So you just saw we scored 67. It was 6,700 points. We were 1,000 points short from not getting both low life and comeback victory. And then on top of that, boom! Just for using Union Attack and the Gravekeeper's Vassal, you're going to drop another 1,000 points on that for only using effect damage. So that run that you guys just saw there was a 8,700 point run. No problem. This deck is crazy. This is the new way to farm Kaiba. Honestly, I had been sitting on like 1,300 keys, and I've just been grinding through this all day. It's such a crazy deck. Now, there is one option for people without Union Attack if you want to push this even further on the point scale. Honestly, I actually do score over 8,000 with this quite often, but I have an insane amount of glossy cards. If I get to rotate through a lot more of these glossy options, I have no problem hitting 8,000. 8,100 I think was one of my better scores I've gotten. But you do have the option. As you guys seen, we did not use all of these healing cards. What I have done is taken out 2 Numinous Healers, and I've taken out 2 Numinous Healers, subbed out Storm for a Riryoku field, allowing us to not have to worry about setting cards out of our hand in the spell or trap zone. Because obviously if you're running Storm, you can't set any important cards in your spell or trap zone, or that will basically render them useless. You're going to kill them off, not allow them to make it to the last step of the game. But having the running Riryoku field, getting rid of Storm, and 2 Numinous Healers is going to give you the space to run a Ritual or a Fusion in this deck. And if you can run a Fusion, you could also try to sneak in a Tribute Summon over one of the tokens if you manage to get a second one on the field. And that's the way this deck could easily score 8,000 points without even using the Union Attack. The thing is, that makes it a little bit less consistent. Honestly, with the current setup, we are smashing it into 7,000 points without Union Attack, which is crazy awesome for a non-Union Attack Kaiba farming deck. But if you guys are fortunate enough to have 2 copies of Union Attack, this deck is... I've already had people from my stream, we were in Discord together today, grinding away at this method. I've had them post me 9,200 point high scores against level 40 Kaiba. And that was just unheard of. Honestly, I've just been so pumped. I've been looking for ways to farm Kaiba for so long now. And so here we go. We're opening up without an apples this time. So one of the worst ways you can draw this deck. He's going to open up with Vorse Raider. We'll go ahead and pop an Enchanted Javelin because why not? I don't think I'm going to go ahead and use 2 though. He gives us another one. We'll see what comes down with them. Alright, so we're going to have 17 and 19. I think I'll just double proc on the Vorse Raider, heal up as much as we can here. We are going to get a Destiny draw now, which is perfect, so we'll go ahead and we'll grab an apples. This is going to be our tier 1 of apples, like I like to call it. We're going to get the apples off on Vorse Raider. Always keep in mind your deck does not shuffle when you're using Destiny draw, so always pull from the deepest parts of the deck. Crucial cards that are important and you need. Actually, that was one of the most perfect things he could have done for us. Not only did we have a Nutrient Z sitting there, but we now get a tier 2 apples. We actually get to skip tier 1. As I like to call the tiers, you have the Vorse Raider apples, Then you have the Luster Dragon apples, and of course the best set of apples to get is the Blue Eyes. Once you get that 3000 attack, 3000 defense apple on the field, nobody's going anywhere. You're not budging. The only threat you have at that point is to an enemy controller, and by that point we've usually racked up so many bonus life points that we can survive through it regardless. And even better, we now have an apple and a Nutrient Z on the board, so literally the only threat we have is enemy controller. What is enemy controller going to do to us? It's going to put our token on his side of the field, and then we're going to get attacked by a monster doing more than 2,000 points of damage. The Nutrient Z's got us covered, no problem. One thing I really like to do, especially when he's got a bunch of face down cards, is go ahead and attack something. You can always sometimes bait out enemy controllers, and one of the great things about Malice token coming specifically from golden apples is the enemy will not trade his Luster Dragon or his Blue Eyes White Dragon into a Malice token in attack mode. Simply won't do it. Doesn't see it as worth it. A Malice token's a 1-star monster. Quite different from the cloning trap card. They will always trade into the cloning trap card. We'll keep going here. We're pretty good sitting on this tier 2 token, I like to call it. Just kind of waiting on him to get this Blue Eyes out. Nutrient Z, golden apples. I don't want to clog my field. One of the things you guys really got to look out for is clogging your field. It can always get you in trouble. At 7 turns now, I have to start thinking about lowering my life. So we're going to proc a mirror wall here and begin the life lowering travels. We have Nutrient Z on board. We really do not have to worry about dying. Even if I get enemy controller right now, we're just going to Nutrient Z and then drop a backup apples. And the cool thing about Mirror Wall is while we're proccing Mirror Wall, we quite literally get to control the rest of our draws for this game. We're going to draw into a Supremacy Berry. Probably not going to use that. To be honest with you, I'm actually not going to change my draw pattern at all. Continue to pay our taxes. I think I want to bring them down. We have Autonomous Action Unit, which is going to be 1500. Discard from your hand. We don't need these nurses. Autonomous 1500. I can use Supremacy Berry to lose 1000. He actually tributed Luster Dragon. Wow. That was interesting. He tributed Luster Dragon to take my token to then use Blue Eyes. Oh, he's going to Twister the Mirror Wall even. That was actually perfect. We're not going to Nutrient Z here because he got rid of my Mirror Wall. I'm actually kind of worried as to how this is going to play out. Doing a little bit of math in my head right now. I could heal by 4,000 and then take 4,200 damage. That's going to bring me down to 4,000 exactly. And then next turn, he's probably going to summon something else. Won't matter because he'll hit me first with Blue Eyes. And at that point, I'm going to heal. I'll take 3,000, heal for 3,000. My worry right now is I can only drop 2,500 with the combination of Supremacy Berry and Autonomous Action Unit. That's going to bring me down to... It's not going to bring me down below 1,000. One of the key parts of this deck to get over 7k is low-lifing properly. Unfortunately, the Twister messed us up. But if I take the 3,000 here, that'll drop me to 4,200. And we would die to the DD Warrior. So we are going to have to... I think we're just going to actually pass and then apples. We'll just apples the hit. I don't want to pop Nutrient Z. We're going to be crazy, way too high on the life point scale. I already think we're going to struggle at achieving low life now. We'll go ahead and Supremacy Berry while we can. Will definitely lower us by 1,000. That's going to start getting us into that. It's going to start getting us into that range of potentially being low enough to lose life points. Autonomous Action Unit, the side purpose of it being in this deck, when you're using the Union Attack version, you need Autonomous Action Unit because you're going to have a token. You're going to grab any monster with Autonomous Action Unit that has 1,700 attack or more, and one Gravekeeper's Vassal, double Union Attack, boom, that's 10k, you're off to the races. You don't need Rising Energy, you don't need either Riryokus because you're replacing those with Union Attack, and actually you can for the most part get away with not using Storm. I like still keeping Storm on the Union Attack version. It helps you clear clutter and clog on your side of the field, because you do need autonomous action units, so you need 2 slots open. Storm helps you clear up those slots, because often you'll have 2 traps set, and you'll leave the 1 space open to rotate spells and traps through. That's where Storm's going to drop in, clear the space, so you'll have room to do your last turn rotation, which will be autonomous action unit, grab a monster out of the graveyard, you have your token already there with 3000 attack, you summon your Gravekeeper's Vassal, activate both your Union attacks, hit it for 10k, and you are farming Kaiba for over 8,000 points without even trying. Honestly, it's such an easy method. Now, here, I am looking for a monster to autonomous action unit right now because I want to get hit and do some damage to myself. I have no other need for autonomous action unit. It's going to do 1500 damage to me. We've already burnt through both of the enemy controllers, if I remember correctly. Nope, actually only one. But I do need to keep on the lookout for that. We still have Nutrient Z up, which is good. I might go ahead and drop... well, no, Nutrient Z will pretty much do the whole trick for me, right? 3,200. We'll drop... I don't want another apple, I don't think. Dun, 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 dun. We'll go ahead and drop a healer this turn, I think, and just kind of end it. If we pull out a 1,300 attack monster... Oh, there's the enemy controller. Alright, he's actually getting smart this time. Yeah, we're going to half the Nutrient here. Heal for 4,000. It's going to put us around 4,200. And Blue Eyes will take us down to the 1,200. It's actually going to be just too low for us to pull off autonomous action unit. So I'm glad I put the nurse down. And actually, you've almost answered all of my quests, all of my prayers. We want to get below that 1,000. We got a lot of options to do it though, so it's fine. We're going to go ahead and pull Storm out. I like having Storm out semi-early. You go ahead and set Storm, so then you're able to clear any clutter you leave behind on the field. We have burnt through both enemy controllers though. That is the main purpose of Storm in this deck. Storm is acting as an unofficial Roku field as well as board clear. It's clearing up space on our side of the board, stopping us from being clogged. And yeah, so at this point, 2,700 attack. We're not going to be able to drop low enough with autonomous action unit alone, but that doesn't matter because we're simply going to bring in a monster and hit Blue Eyes with said monster and lower our attack, or lower our life points, sorry. With 2 cards left, we can just end our turn. This is going to be our second last turn now, and I think I actually need to prepare myself for low life points on this turn. We aren't going to need the monster summoned from autonomous action unit because we're simply going to Roku the token and his Blue Eyes. So, 1,500 life points, target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it. Honestly, we're going to drop 1,500. Anybody that is, I think he's got, what, someone that's 1,900 in here will take 1,100 damage. 1,100. Oh, that's actually perfect. So we'll go ahead and grab Vorse Raider. Hopefully we don't just get instantly twistered. We'll have to see. Actually, we can't, or I can, or we. Not gonna matter. I've overlooked the clutter. We actually needed to Storm before activating autonomous action unit, so we had a little tiny bit of an error here. I needed to use Storm and then activate autonomous action unit. For starters, Storm was going to clear, which wasn't Tornado at all, which I thought it was going to be. Therefore, guaranteeing our autonomous action unit would have stayed up on the field there, because on our second last turn, we have to remember to set Rising Energy. So one little tiny error there. It happens. I mean, we're recording this around 5 o'clock in the morning. We had such a crazy night. Been hours and hours of just going through, tweaking this, talking about these options, and we finally came up with this absolutely gorgeous solution to farming Kaiba. So we're going to get comeback victory, but this farm will be 500 points short of its potential due to be 500 points short of its potential due to the simple fact that we are missing out on the lowest life that we can actually hit. Go ahead and Riryoku his blue eyes, buff our Piranha, and we'll Riryoku our own as well. And make sure we get the token. Gotta double focus up here. We did get the secret pass off, and we'll hit this Kaiba farm home. Honestly, it felt like we weren't even trying. It is so easy. So we did that farm basically flawlessly. We were just missing 500 points from low life, guys, and would you look at that 500 points from low life, which was simply forgetting to storm first before autonomous action unit. We would have just got, without union attack, guys, 8,000 score against Kaiba, something I literally did not even think possible. Now, you saw how easy that was, and for all you guys that are blessed with union attack, 2 copies to be exact, I'll go through the deck modification with you guys right now. I can't get over how crazy this Kaiba farm is. I've burnt through 800 keys over the course of the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, and not even broken a sweat. I literally have not failed one farm attempt at the same time, and I'm using the non-union attack version. You guys who are honestly, I envy you guys with union attack. All you're gonna do is you're gonna pull Piranha out. Actually, you know, I might as well just do it. You're going to pull Piranha out, put in Gravekeeper's Vassal. Autonomous action unit stays in. Obviously, we're going to replace both Riryokus with Union Attack. You're going to take out Rising Energy. You need Secret Passes of Treasures. Storm is actually optional, but no, you know what? It really is not, because you do need autonomous action unit. Storm is going... before I totally forget, Storm is there on the very last turn to clear the back row. You need to clear the back row. You shove your field full, activate that Storm on this very last turn. You can do it. You don't need to do it on the second last turn with the Union Attack version, because you don't need to get Rising Energy set. So this is even better. Honestly, it takes away 1 or 2 steps and makes it even easier. And the card you put in instead, honestly, a second Supremacy Berry. I only have one. That's one of the ideal things you can put in. Another option is going to be, honestly, we just do a quick search on cards via life. Under spell cards, Dying Kettle the Cure Master. Unconditionally heals you by 1,000. Perfect. It'll help us stall. We have Soul of the Pure. I actually, in my main deck when I wasn't making the video, was running 2 Soul of the Pures and 1 Numinous Healer, just because glossy, glossy, glossy. I wanted to stack the gloss. You can kind of prioritize the glossy cards when you have the opportunity, but the Numinous Healers are obviously more consistent because they heal for more every time you get the card off. So if you do need the health, you're good. But you guys saw, I mean, we had more health than we possibly could need. So the important things to look out for here is you're using Mirror Wall. You need to get the activation of Mirror Wall early enough, so look out for it with Destiny Draw. Make note of where it is. You need to get the activation of Mirror Wall off early enough to start lowering your life points by 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, and make sure we get low enough. An autonomous action unit, make sure you're aware of the 1,500 life point cost. Factor that in, get yourself below 1,000 life points, and yeah, you can totally hit 8,000 on your non-union attackers, and you guys with union attack, you get that bonus 1,000 points for doing it all with effect damage, and it is just a walk in the park, guys. This deck, we got to change the name of it. This is the Kaiba Level 40 Level 40 8K plus deck, guys. And honestly, I've been waiting so long for a Kaiba farming deck that I could just pop off on. And I got to give a big shout out to pretty much everybody who comes and hangs out on the stream. I can't start naming off names. It was such a big a big contribution. There was like 5, 6, 7 of us. If I start naming off names, I'm not going to name them all. It'll just be insulting. But there was like 7 or 8 of us that were just crunching numbers, throwing ideas around, and boy did it pay off. This is it. This is how we're going to get our econs. Like I said, this is our Union Attack version. We still got the regular version on the side there. And, yeah, guys, honestly, I hope you were saving up those white keys. Now get in there and start grinding with them. Get those enemy controllers. We all know I still have 0 enemy controllers, 800 keys later. I still got 150 left, so I believe it's going to work. But as you guys seen, that was pretty much 2 flawless Kaiba runs. Didn't even break a sweat. One of them was an 8,000 point. Well, I guess we didn't technically hit 8,000 either times, but you guys saw one little tiny mistake. That's what happens when you try to record this stuff at 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Honestly, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I was so excited to finally put it together. We did it. How to farm Kaiba for over 8,000 points. And to be honest with you guys, I gotta put a success rate on this farm at like 95%. I personally have not failed it once, and I've now burnt through over 800 keys. I only know one person who had a failed attempt in the stream, and they were actually running a 2-apple version as well. Once you get that 3rd apple in there, this is so smooth. But this really puts value on the apples. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of options for budget versions of this deck. Kaiba is extremely hard to farm. There's not too many replacements, but I will do my best to kind of give you guys the closest modifications. Just let me know in the comments below what cards you guys have, if you need any advice on ones to replace. I'll always be there. I'm very active in the chat. I'll let you know, help you out the best I can to put them together. And like usual, guys, come hang out on the stream, twitch.tv/MasKScarin. We're going to be there at we try to be online at least 6 hours a day, 5 days a week. I know personally this is going to be a Friday that this video is going live. We'll be streaming later today. I know we were up a little late, being 5 o'clock in the morning now, so I got to get some sleep in. But yeah, check us out on the socials. That's where I'm going to let you know when we're online. Smash that subscribe button, guys. And honestly, let me know down in the comments below, what other videos do you guys want to see? What other legendary duelists do you want videos to be put out for farming? Would you guys like to see some PvP highlights? I know I'm looking to kind of explore some of the top of the meta decks and get some good gameplay on them, so you guys can kind of see how it feels to use these decks that are about as sweaty as it gets. But yeah. Honestly, I'm actually on like cloud 9 right now. This deck has been an answer to something. I need a method to get enemy controllers. It's the bane of my existence. I do not have enemy controller, and we're finally going to be able to get it. And yeah, honestly, I think I've blabbered on for long enough for tonight. Get your white keys, farm those enemy controllers, guys. But most of all, don't forget, stay classy.